Mr. Kustoff for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Dr. Holtz, I can thank you for being here this morning and thank you for your past public service. As we've seen with the implementation of Dodd-Frank and the creation of FSOC, has been authorized to notice and implement final rules to determine whether a non-bank company will pose a threat to the financial stability of our country. Undeniably, this authority has allowed for FSOC to impose guidance on what it considers its own definition for what actually constitutes a threat to financial stability. A definition, in my opinion, which is inconsistent in their rulemaking and more specifically, their designation of systematically important financial institutions. These independent agencies are created by Congress and staffed with presidential employees. As such, we expect these individuals to create rules and regulations objectively and independently. Do you believe that the FSOC is capable of acting as an independent regulatory agency?
It could be a better regulator in the sense of having processes that were more systematic, that were uniform, that were transparent, and where you could have objective criteria that they sought to meet. I do not think that the science exists to fulfill its basic mission, which is to identify systemic risk and reduce it. As you know, I served on the Financial Crisis Inquiry Commission. I think all the time, in the narrative of that crisis and in the events as they unfolded, had there been an FSOC, would it have known how to stop it? And the answer is no, it would not have. It is the activities that went on, the interconnectedness of those activities, not just among firms, but across the globe, that is the most striking feature of the crisis. That took place in many different regulatory environments. None of them were smart enough to foresee the forces that combined to produce the financial crisis. And FSOC would not have been smart enough either.
As a follow-up, if I could, last year, Chairman Hensarling introduced the Financial Choice Act, which would eliminate the FSOC's ability to designate SIFIs. What additional reforms would you recommend to this committee that would remedy the FSOC's unchecked authority to make these designations?
Well, there's several levels of, I think, reforms. One are the ones that we've mentioned several times about the process by which it operates, making it more transparent, more uniform, a clear exit ramp from SIFI status, and making sure that the burden doesn't fall on firms that are too small. The second would be limiting its scope to designate non-bank SIFIs. I, for example, think that in many cases, all we're getting out of the regulation of these insurance companies is a second layer of what the consolidated state regulators are doing anyway, and they're ignoring that. So I don't see why we should do that. And then the third level of reform, I think, would be to really, pull back on its ability to do this at all. It's been given a mission that it can't fulfill. It has enormous authorities and can impose large costs in the economy. That strikes me as a very bad regulatory arrangement and ought to be scaled back entirely.
Thank you very much. I yield back.
Gentleman yields back.